What's up, YouTube? It's Poverty Chef, and we're here with another excellent quality video for you. It's totally improv, so I wasn't even planning on doing this, man. I was just eating dinner. I was like, wait a minute. You know who would really enjoy this video? YouTube would. Hey, be quiet. Got one dog in heat, one dog harassing her, the other one doesn't like it. Look at my sack. This beautiful, lovely sack here, as you can see. Hold on, hold on. Just like Christmas, you will get what's inside of my sack. But the hole's a little small, so it takes a little extra force to get it out. And what you see here is a partially diseased, otherwise great cabbage. As you can see, I've already removed a good portion of it. That's in what we're cooking today. This is a red cabbage. Well, it's purple, but it's called red. I don't know why. I think there was a botanist one day who was colorblind, and he was like, "Oh, hey, you know, this new variety here looks to be quite red to me." This cabbage. Yeah, I know what you're thinking. It's like, okay, it's cabbage. Like, it's not that great. Well, let me tell you something. I was eating out one day. This place in Ogden, Utah, called Eastern Winds. They have the best egg rolls. You might disagree. I don't know what it is. The texture on those egg rolls is amazing, and they've got, well, it could be lettuce or something. I don't know. But for whatever reason in my head, when I bit into them, I was like, that's cabbage. I just knew it was cabbage, even though I've eaten cabbage maybe 10 times in my life. And I'm 27, so divide that by 10. It's an average of once every 2.7 years. When you're poor, you gotta be good at math. So that got me thinking, okay, well, maybe I should be eating cabbage. And cabbage is really healthy for you anyway. So check this out. I'm boiling my cabbage. It turns the water purple. Now I'm thinking, okay, I've got purple pork chops. Yes, I boiled my pork chops. Let me explain to you why. You're like, this guy. Why am I taking cooking advice from a poor man who doesn't know what he's doing? I do know what I'm doing. And yes, we eat our food with our fingers. But check this out. Check this out, okay? That's what's for dinner. Oh, wow. I can actually see the details. You know, when doing the older videos, it was like the laptop camera or the phone camera. Didn't get that much detail. It's really colorful. Holy crap. I think I want to eat it while watching the camera. That's amazing. And so, I bet you're wondering, Poverty Chef, why the F do you have a cast iron pot or pan? Well, it's because I break things a lot, and a regular pan is cheaper than a cast iron pan. But poverty tip, invest in longevity. Your cast iron pan is gonna last longer than your flimsy whimsy doop-a-doop-a-doop pan. Okay? Don't buy a doop-a-doop when you can get a cast iron pan. Plus, if somebody breaks into your home, a cast iron pan is a lot cheaper than a Glock. I'll tell you that right now. So, back to the pork chops. Why were you boiling your pork chops? Well, when you boil the pork chop, now ideally, you only want to boil it so that the outer 1/3, maybe 1/4 is cooked, and then the inside is still a little raw. That's the best way to have most sorts of meat, especially poultry. But when you boil your meat, as you can see, we've got pasta here. And when you boil your meat, you're taking some of that flavor, especially those fats, and you're melting them out of the meat into the water. Then you remove your pork chops, and then you cook your pasta in the same water. And it imbues the pasta with this amazing flavor. And I did the cabbage and the pork chops in the same water. So I got this beautiful melding of cabbage and pork flavors in the pasta together. Now you may be wondering, did a clown nut in your food, or is that mozzarella? It's just mozzarella. Though I wish it was the other. When it was hot, and here's another thing, poverty tip, if you want to save money on fertilizer in your garden, when you cook food, especially when you boil it, Natural chemical processes mean that some of the nutrients are coming out of your pasta and then going into the water. When you dump your water for your mac and cheese, what color is it? It's that ugly, nasty, wheat tan color. Why? Because nutrients from the pasta are in the water. So you take that, put it in a bucket, let it cool off, go dump it in your garden. You're saving money on fertilizer and you're saving waste in the environment. Poverty tip. Brain farts galore. So what you want to do, you take your cabbage, you cut off as much as you want, bam, throw it in the water, take your pork chops, they should already be in the water. The water should be boiling, pork chops go in, then you cut the cabbage, then you throw it in. The reason being is because cabbage is high in vitamin C and other vitamins that can be heat sensitive, and the heat's going to break them down, so you don't want your vegetables to be in the water as long. Then you take the cabbage out, and then you take your meat out. Though, remember, if you leave your meat in too long, it's going to get overcooked, and it's going to cook all the way through. If you like overdone meat, that's fine. I don't, but we're poor, so you can't just throw it out and start over, right? Now, cabbage. That cabbage is $1 a pound. That's an amazing deal. Which, by the way, world's smallest sandwich bag. As you can see here, focus camera. Cabbage seeds. Cabbage seeds, that was like $2. So, for the price of 2 pounds of cabbage, I can potentially grow. That's 25 seeds. It's an 80% germination rate, okay? So that's 4. That's the way I do math. Out of the 25. 8 and 4. So that's 16, 20. So out of the 25 seeds I got, let's say I get 20 plants, and each one has a potential to get up to 5 pounds. And so that's, 100 pounds worth of cabbage from $2. A $2 investment becomes 100 pounds of cabbage, which means $100 of savings in groceries, potentially. And that's important because cabbage is really rich in vitamins. It's a lower protein, lower calorie source of food, so, you know, if you're trying to get as much nutrition as possible, cabbage is going to be one component of a well-balanced nutritional diet. And if you're growing it yourself, that's awesome. You're saving money. Not to mention, it's extremely high in fiber, very high in moisture, so when you eat it, it's very filling. And keep in mind, you know, just one of these was about 3 pounds. So, for a 3-pound cabbage, you know, you gotta think that's probably about 6 days worth of food. And these certain varieties of cabbage, especially these red varieties, are gonna be, they're known for lasting a good portion through the winter. So it's a lot like a winter squash where you harvest it, you throw it in the fridge. Maybe you don't even throw it in the fridge. Maybe you just have a cooler room. You just keep it on your deck, on your porch, wherever. It doesn't freeze, but it gets cold. If you happen to have a room like that, or poverty tip, to see how strong you are, wait as long as you can into the winter before turning on your furnace. You'll thank me when all your neighbors like, oh, my gas bill was $500 this month. And you're like, guess what? Mine was $5 because I only run the hot water sometimes. That's the only gas I use. And then everybody's going to be like, wow. Before you know it, you're a millionaire because all the money is saved on not running your furnace. And pasta. You can't just flavor it with cabbage and pork water. You can, but it's not going to be as good. You want 2 extra ingredients. Now, when you're poor, this is where you spend all your money. It's condiments, right? You can go without condiments, but if you want to spice it up a little bit, the 3 things you need are tapatio, Sweet Baby Ray's, and mayonnaise. If you're adventurous, get some mustard. Motherfucker! Ah! We've added 2 forks. That's not an exact science. When you're making food, you know what 1 fork looks like. You know. But your fork may look different from my fork, so just keep that in mind. And then a couple circles a couple circles of Sweet Baby Ray's. Sweet Baby Ray's honey flavored barbecue sauce. And I know it sounds disgusting, but trust me, it makes a very good sauce for savory meal, okay? Now, to wash this meal down, we have our discount bedroom milk, okay? First of all, see that? We got $1 off. She couldn't pull the sticker off, so she had to scribble on it and leave the sticker on there. But that suits me well because it shows that we saved $1 on a gallon of milk. Now, if you happen to be Chinese or African American and you don't know what bedroom milk is, that's just... bedroom milk is the personal gallon of milk that white people carry around the house. That's all that is. That's all that is. Every white person has a personalized gallon of milk that they carry with them everywhere they go. We're going to sample the food. You see here, we've got beautiful cabbage. It's lost some of its color, and that's what happens when you boil it. Like I told you, those nutrients, the purple, that's coming from anthocyanins. Those are antioxidants, and those are leaching out into the water. Now, bacteria will break those down over time and turn them into other nutrients. So you can still add those to your garden, that's fine. You're not going to hurt anything, but just keep in mind, the longer you leave this in your boiling water, the less of that's going in your body. Even though the pasta will reabsorb some of it, it won't reabsorb everything the cabbage lost. See, we've got some mayonnaise on there. Oh yeah. Oh, it's not gonna focus, but that's fine. Just you know, flavorize it, test it. Mmm. You know, growing up, I was never big on vegetables, but there's something satisfying about eating cabbage. You've got the moisture, a subtle sweetness. Gotcha, bitch. It's freaking fruit flies everywhere, and I don't know where they're coming from. I'll probably find a freaking half-eaten kiwi somewhere, not knowing where it came from. But there's something so satisfying about eating cabbage. Now, fucking room temperature IQ insects. You see, this is a 16-inch skillet. And like I said, this was improv. I've already eaten about a third of it. I'm getting a little full. So for the price of one bag of pasta and for a quarter head of cabbage, you can get about 3 meals. You gotta think, a quarter head, let's round that up, say it was a third of a head. That's $1. Then the pasta, this was that fancy colorful pasta, so it was probably like $2 for the whole bag, about 16 ounces, that's a pound. Uncooked. It's a pound of uncooked. Then you add a few crumbles of cheese in there, if you happen to have it. If you can't afford it, that's fine. If you can't afford it, take some bedroom milk. Look at that expiration date, look at that. October 29th, that's tomorrow. Just leave it in your bedroom, bro. Just leave it in your bedroom. It'll separate, you'll get the whey on the bottom. You can put that in your garden. You get that crap at the top. Boom. You've got cheese. I'm not well educated on the nuances of making cheese. You might need some rennet. You'll have to cut a baby cow open and take its stomach to do that. Or you can get some of those vegan alternatives, and that's how you make cheese. I don't know how to combine them or how long it takes or whatever. And every different kind of cheese has a different kind of culture. That's fine. Whatever. But the point is, you can use your bedroom milk to make some cheese if you can't afford the high quality cheese from Winco, or God forbid you get your groceries at Walmart. And then, like I said, I've got the pork chops. I'm not very happy with them because they got boiled all the way through. But we're gonna eat them and we're gonna like it because we can't throw them away and start over. Also, poverty tip. When you go grocery shopping, if you want to get meat, you son of a bitch. When you go grocery shopping, if you want to get meat, go all the way down the meat aisle, and on the end, they'll usually have the garbage meat. And the garbage meat is all the steaks and stuff that they got too many of, and it was priced too high for the middle class people to buy. So then what they do is they drop $1 or $2 off, but every once in a while, there's not enough poor people buying meat. So then they drop the price on that, so the super poor people, like you and me, can get it at a grubby little discount. And then, you get that. See, this was $2 a pound for these high quality pork chops. Now, they're close to expiration, but they're not quite there yet. You know, I brought them in, I looked at them, there was that like slightly green slime on them. You throw them under the sink, wash it off, they're good to go, man. Especially if you're boiling them, anti-botulism or anything in there, you're gonna kill that right off, and it's gonna be a good meat. That is, unless you, I've learned this a few times the hard way, is you give that bacteria just a few days too many, and it will permeate all the way through the meat, and then your meat is bitter no matter how much you boil it. And sometimes it gets so bad, I'm not even willing to eat it. And you've seen what I eat. That sums it up for this meal. I really enjoyed it. I think it's awesome. It's very satisfying, very filling. If you like my content, don't forget to dislike, unsubscribe, and leave a mean comment. And I'm just kidding. If you like it, actually, please do subscribe. Don't unsubscribe. I need you. I need you. I'm not good at outros and I'm super awkward, so bye.